All right, let's see. Let's get this thing started. All right, let's get this started. All right, we'll see. Hey, we've got a few folks out there. All right. So, look, I was not intending on going live at all. I had actually, Josh was referring to a premiere I did a couple of days ago, and he thought um, that I was going live. So when he makes that announcement, I can't let the opportunity pass. So I thought I might as well jump in here and see what's going on. Yeah, that's right, 45. I got the ICOM hat on. I'm excited. That 5200 is an exciting radio. Can't wait to learn more about that. But I think that 7300 is a pretty big deal as well, right? I think everyone always looked at the original 7300 as a beginner's radio, right? That was your starter radio. If you had the means and you were new to HF, maybe you just got your general. The 7300 was kind of the ipso facto, default best radio for beginners. But this Mark II, I think this thing is different. I mean, with all the features they've added, this thing's graduated. It's no longer just a beginner's radio. I think what'll be interesting is to see, does it still have the beginner radio price? Is it going to be in that ballpark where the 7300 originally came out, where the DX10 plays? Or will it be more expensive? That'll be interesting to see for sure. All right, let me see here. Like I said, I was not prepared at all to go live, but hey, when Josh announced it, I figured, why not jump out there and chat with folks and see what's going on? Let me get a couple of things set up here. All right, there I've got my chat where I can see that a little bit better. Oh, yeah, fun times at Tokyo for sure. Man, that's definitely a bucket list item for me. I'm hoping next year is the year. That's what we've been talking about a little bit, a few of us, trying to get all our ducks in a row so that we can go have a great time in Tokyo for another one of the major shows. I'm just clearing the desk out here a little bit. Well, if they're going to be shipping that 7300 for Christmas, I would not be surprised to see people. I mean, I think QRZ's going to be full of 7300s here. I wouldn't be surprised if it's starting this weekend. Yeah, some folks are going to be excited to grab it because it's the new radio, it's the new ICOM radio, and I mean, why not? I mean, they make great radios. It's got a lot of additional features. If you're a 7300 fan, that's an easy play. I think some people will wait to see what the price tag is, though. So I would not be surprised, though, to see some of those starting to show up as early as this weekend. Let's see, what else are you guys talking about here in the chat? Was hoping for a new sat radio. Yeah, I mean, you can always wish. I'm going to keep my ICOM hat on, but I'm also going to show you guys one of my Huntsville Hamfest purchases. Yeah, there you go. That's got a Yaesu sticker on it. I picked up another 817 just so I could have two of them and improve my mobile linear game. So I have been playing with 1.817 with an SDR plugged into my phone. And though that was doable, boy, it was really fiddly. But I got that one for a great deal. I picked that up for $250 at Huntsville. So for you that were at Huntsville, you may have seen it. It was on a table for $300. And I talked to the guy for just a little while. He actually had two. He had an 817. I think they were both 817s. And he had a tuner, an LDG tuner strapped to the top of one, and he wanted $550 for that one. But after chatting with him for just a little bit on the one he had 300 on, he quickly jumped to $250, and that was pretty hard to pass up. Hey, Jeff B. Thanks for joining the stream. Hey, Prep Ham Paul. Hey, Paul. Looks like maybe you just joined. Maybe you didn't hear me say earlier. I had no intention of live streaming tonight, but when Josh with 500 people on his live stream says, hey, Digital Rancher's going to stream, I thought, let's hit the button and see where it goes. So if people want to chat, I can chat. I like to chat. Let's see, 9700 with a cage or a second 705 is the dilemma. Yeah, I have contemplated doing the dual 705 thing. I also have just contemplated using a single 705 with my prior 818. But like I said, whenever I saw an 817 for $250, that was pretty hard to pass up. I think I am going to still pick up a 705 though. And that would be cool to use for receive, especially since you have the waterfall. You can see what's going on there, and use the 818 for transmit. All right, let's see who else is out here. Let's see. Not too many other chatters. Let me see what the stream is saying we've got out here. We've got a few folks, 13. 13 or so. Let's see what else I can share with you guys. Greeting from Huntsville. Hey, KN4RAY. Howdy and welcome. So some things I am working on. I did pick up another radio not that long ago. You guys may have seen a short or two that I put out about this. But I picked up one of these 599 MPs. These Lab 599 TX500 MPs. This is a pretty sweet radio. It's especially interesting if you are a original TX500 Discovery owner as well. This thing comes with the BP 500, the battery pack there. See if I can get it on the camera. And that battery will work with both radios, so it's interchangeable between those radios. So I'm working on some content ideas to showcase this radio. So I've got that in the works. Man, it's hot here in Texas right now. I've got some more work to do on my ground station. Um, I should be getting the coax in for that relatively soon. And so that will allow me to take the next steps on my ground station. I'm waiting for some 1/2-inch heliacs that I'm going to be running out to my that small tower that I have. So that's the coax I selected, but I'm waiting for that to come in. Let's see who else is out there. Hello from Oklahoma, Tim. Thanks for joining the stream. And hey, like I said, I was not intending on streaming at all. So if you guys have a topic you'd like to chat about, I guess we could make this an Ask Me Anything type episode, or we'll just see where it goes. If we have some people that want to hang around and chat, I'm more than happy to do that. I don't really have too much else going on here this evening, so you guys can throw some topics at me. I would like to get maybe a little feedback on the audio. How's the audio sound for you guys? How's the video looking? Make sure things are streaming well. I tell you, I am pretty excited about that 5200, especially if that thing gives us access to the TNC. That could be really interesting. And it's, I mean, fantastic that it's full duplex. Looks great. I love that black screen. Looks really crisp. I saw some red on that. I might have to pull up Josh's stream and try to see if I can grab a capture from that so we could look at that. Are goats your full-time job? They are not. I actually, so I am an engineering director for a healthcare IT company. So I have a full-time regular job that's pretty intense. It's, I'd say between 50 and 60 hours a week. And then I've got the goats, got a bunch of dogs, got a bunch of radios, trying to do a YouTube channel. So those are all the kinds of things that keep me busy. Let's see, I haven't done anything with my TDEC. I've got one of those right here as well. Have you uploaded the latest firmware on it? Because these things get much better with the latest firmware, right? So I've got the TDEC here in this Rockland case, which I really like. It's a great case. Let's see. But, what's interesting is I tend to prefer my phone. I mean, I love this. I love the form factor. It takes me back to my BlackBerry days. But in terms of usability, I think, you've always got your phone on you anyhow. And there are so many nodes coming out that are nice and small and discreet. This thing is, I don't know, it's not as great to carry as some of the other options out there. Now I have a few other new nodes I'm expecting, I'd say probably in the next 6 to 10 days. I just got some shipping notifications. So these are some e-ink display nodes, and I'm excited to give those a try out and let you guys know what I think about those. But yeah, I love the idea of the TDEC, but I just don't find myself wanting to carry it. 10 over in Indiana. All right. Thanks, Gray Man. Let's see what else we got here. Okay. 39,000 feet. Man, I'm glad you got some. That must be, is that an international thing or is that a crew member thing? I'm wondering. I never have streaming, or I never have enough bandwidth for suitable streaming whenever I'm on a plane. Let's see. Heliax is the way to go. Yeah, it's not cheap, but I'm hoping. Look, I'm running about 250 feet out to my location, so I'm going to have some real loss from just that distance. So I went with Heliax, and hopefully I'm able to, keep those losses keep them in check so that I can still get some usable power. I mean, I've done the calculations. I know I'll be fine, but it's still an awful lot of coax for those high frequencies. Let's see. Joe Brett. Hey, man, thanks for joining. I'll tell you, like I told everyone else, I really was not intending to stream tonight, but, when Josh says you're streaming and he tells 500 people, I figure, boy, I better hit the button. You never know. People might actually show up. Looks like we got a few out there. I appreciate you guys stopping in, and certainly, like I said, I was not, I don't have anything prepared, so we're going to do an Ask Me Anything. So you guys are welcome to ask whatever you like. Like I said, I'm playing with this guy. If you guys have some questions about that, we can chat about that. I did just pick up this second 817 at Huntsville, so I'm excited about that. I plugged it in tonight and was checking it out. It's actually in pretty good shape. It's an original 817, so it's not the ND, but I'm just going to use it as a receive radio anyhow for my linear birds. And the screen's a little dim on it, but man, for $250, I'm not complaining. So I've got that in here. Hey, check this out too. The dude also printed the full manual, and he did a great job with this print. And I don't know about you, but I don't have many full-size manuals for any of my radios these days. I mean, anytime I need to look something up, I just pull it up on my phone or something like that. I forgot how enjoyable it was just to actually turn pages of paper. I mean, it was so much better, kind of refreshing some of the things I was looking up on that radio. One of the things I can never remember, for those of you who might not be familiar with it, so you've got a BNC connector on the front, you've got a UHF connector on the back, and there is a menu setting to swap that. And I think out of the box, I'm trying to remember, this one was set up on the UHF connector, so I had to actually go in and swap it. I think that's the way it comes. I can't remember. It's been a while since I bought my 818 new, but I couldn't remember where to make that change, so I had to look it up. All right, let's see. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That LNA should have me in pretty good shape. So that Heliax is going to be worth the money for sure. Let's see. What else do we got out there? He got it printed at Kinko's. It looks like it. I mean, he's got the spiral binding on it. He got the whole thing. Like I said, it's it had all the stuff you would expect it to have. It also had some 3D printed rails, which were some pretty decent rails. It was a nice print. Had a power supply. I haven't even looked at the internal battery. I don't care about the internal battery. I'm not going to be using the internal battery, but it doesn't have the WinCamp battery. It doesn't have the upgraded battery. So, for me, that's, not a big deal. I'm going to be hooking it up to a Bioenno anyhow. So, is that an 857? Yeah. It actually is. I've got it right here on the shelf. Gosh, it's a little dusty. I need to get this guy out, and get it in the field. Look how dusty that poor thing is. But yeah, This is a Cherry 857. It's a great radio. It's in beautiful shape. I bought that used probably about 4 years ago, and doesn't get a ton of use, but whenever I need it, I got it. Yeah, I could have done that. I could have run the 857 and the 818, but that 857 is kind of heavy and it's a lot bulkier. I mean, that's one of the other great things about this radio is, I mean, look, I can palm it, right? It's such a small form factor and it's a lot lighter. I've actually got, you guys have seen how I do my FM birds with the chest rig style. I actually have another chest rig that I was working on this evening that holds both of these. So I could not do that with the 857 and an 818. So let's see. What else are we talking about out there? Yeah. Paul, there was a dude, he had a bunch of used Yaesus. He had two 817s. He had some other radios too. He had an 891, but he had another mobile as well. In the time that I was standing there talking to him, he sold like 3 radios. It's like, you know what it's like. It's like people start getting FOMO. Everyone's standing around thinking about buying a radio. And then when one guy gets their cash out, now all of a sudden everybody like has to grab everything that's on the table. Hey, Bill, thanks for joining, man. Yeah, Brooks 857 is a great radio. All right, let's see. Yeah, thanks for joining, Bill. Bill, I'll tell you, just like I told everyone else, this was not on the plan tonight. This, Josh got his wires crossed, so I'm just trying to, I'm trying to help a buddy out, right? He thought I was doing a live stream, so I'm doing a live stream. No, it's a great chance. I mean, if you're going to follow a guy doing a live stream with 550, 600 people, you just hope to get a few folks and maybe you can introduce some new people to your channel. So that's why we're here. Any topics that you guys are interested in? Let me think about some other videos I am working on. I just put out another video from our Colorado trip. I've got a couple more of those. Those are more like travel vlog videos than anything else. I do show some of our radio exploits, but they're more just kind of showing us all doing the things that we did over the course of that week. I will be posting, I did record a couple of those passes that I did while I was out there. I think I got contacts for 30, I think I made 37 contacts over the various satellite passes I did. And I've got a couple of those that I'm just going to release the raw footage of for those that might be interested, maybe those that I made contact with. So I'll be putting those out. I didn't shoot a lot of video at Huntsville. I just, the Hamfest videos, everybody does one, and, they just don't seem to get a lot of views. And so I didn't concentrate so much on what I wanted to video. I just took some pictures, took a little bit of video here and there. I actually had a number of people probably send me more video of various activities, whether that was Jim's parachute jump, the satellite class that I did at Gigaparts, or the satellite pass that I did on Montesano. I probably had more people send me more footage and photos than I took myself. So I'm going to put all that stuff together and probably be more of a montage type video. And I'll put that out there. And really, I kind of do those more for myself. Those are videos that I like to do a little bit of editing exploration. I like to try some different things, maybe try some different transitions or effects and those types of things. So that's what I'm going to do with that. Yeah, Gray Man, I see you didn't do one there either. I mean, I think, by the end of the show, everyone's tired of the show, which I get. So I think Frank is probably the guy who does the best with those because he puts his out the day of the show. Like after the first day, he's got a video out there already. So people are probably still interested in it at that point. All right, let's see. Hillbilly Ham, thanks for joining the stream. Hey, N8YO, how you doing, Mike? Nice to see you out there. All right, I don't see any topics that anyone has thrown out there. Like I said, I wasn't really intending on streaming here, so this is an Ask Me Anything. If you guys have a topic or a question, throw it out there. I'm happy to talk to it. This gives me a chance to get a little more streaming under my belt as well. I don't have any fun things set up or configured here, so let's see. Frank is nuts. He is, man. He's a machine. And especially at Huntsville, man, I just want to hang out with my buddies. I just want to hang out and see everybody. I mean, it's likely my favorite show. I just really love the atmosphere, love hanging out with everybody. And the last thing I really want to be doing is be worried about shooting videos or capturing this or capturing that. What's your ground station for Sats gonna consist of? Looking to put another up soon. Yaesu had a Yaesu Azel rotator and KLM Yagi years back. Yeah, so I'm going with kind of the tried and true standard implementation. It's kind of what I consider the standard implementation these days. So I've got a 9700 in the shack. I've got the what is it? The CSN Technologies, is that what it is? That's the SAT, the SAT controller. It goes out. I do have some preamps that I'm going to be putting in the system as well. It's going out to a M² SAT pack. So just kind of a straightforward satellite station. Yeah, I hear you, Paul. I think it's a little bit different for Orlando and a little bit different for Dayton. But for Huntsville, man, that's just, I'm just there for the hang. It's just a different atmosphere. All right, let's see. Hey, I really appreciate everyone jumping on and hanging out, spending some time with me here this evening. Let's see what else I've got. Now, I know we're going to be chatting a little bit about our Huntsville hauls this weekend. I know Frank's got a stream he's working on. But that's another thing. I didn't buy a ton of stuff. I mean, I got that 817. I did get a let me see, can I reach that? I can't. I did get an additional extension for that that portable satellite rotator. This is a extension that accepts the elk antenna. So I've got one for both the Arrow and the elk antenna. So we can play around with both of those. I got one of those from Dawn. Let me think. What else did I get? Oh, I did get the Black Explorer backpack. So I've got the OG the original that they came out with, that Gigaparts came out with, but I thought that black one was pretty sharp, and they had a few left over with Jason Ham Radio 2.0's signature version that has the red stitching on it. And I thought that was a pretty sharp looking bag. So I did pick up one of the last of those. I think they had 5 left at Gigaparts on Thursday. So I picked up one of those. I had a pretty big sticker haul. Let me see what else. And Ham Radio Tectonics, Bill, he debuted his sticker this year at Huntsville. So that was cool. I picked up one of those. Thank you, Bill. Let's see. Yeah, so Bill got the antenna and nothing else. Let's see. Was there a specific hot item this year? I don't really know that there was. At least not that I saw, not that I thought was hot. I don't know from anyone else in the chat here who was at Huntsville. Do you guys think there was a must-have, a hot item? There were some interesting items. Meshtastic devices, yeah, those the Seed Studio devices, they were just flying off the shelf there. Dave crushed it with those. I mean, he had to hold back devices just so he would have something for Saturday, and then Saturday he wiped out. Yeah, Spec 5 was doing pretty good business there as well. The 7300 Mark II. Yeah, if that would have been there, that would have been the thing for sure. Seed did, or he could have sold out on the mountain. He made a conscious decision to hold some stuff back just so he would have some stuff on Saturday. I mean, that's a good problem to have. That was exactly what happened to him at Dayton as well. He could have sold everything before the show started. Pridnear did. The POTA 20 mast. Yeah, the 2730B. Oh, and you got a solar node. Nice. Nice. Yeah, I love that 2730B. No doubt about it. Boy, I tell you, that 5200 though, boy, that thing looks so sharp. Let's see. Hermes Light 2 and Square SDR. Who was selling those? Where did you see those? Oh, maybe you're asking if I did not see either of those, any of those. But I wasn't really looking for them either. Sometimes when you're walking through the boneyard, you can overlook things so easily if you're looking for one thing and not another thing. Yeah, Hillbilly, that, first of all, the screen on that thing is just gorgeous. And I don't know about you guys, but the bigger screens are very appealing these days. Anything I can do or anything I can get with a larger screen on it, especially in a mobile, is very attractive for sure. And I'm really curious to see if they're going to open up access to the TNC. That will be really exciting because I'd love to pair that with a tablet in the truck. Yeah, that was a great pick by Josh, spotting that. And we did get confirmation that it's going to be full duplex, just like the 5100. Kind of expected that, but you can't take anything for granted. So tell me, what are you guys thinking about that 7300? Is that something you guys are looking to put in the shack? Again, I always kind of looked at the 7300 as a beginner radio, right? That was kind of the best beginner radio you could get. And I think folks that have that may have graduated already to something else. I mean, I think that is well beyond a beginner's radio at this point. I mean, you've got a receive antenna port on it, got a CW decoder on it. It's awesome that they improved the receive. It'd be nice if they improved some of the filtering, but it'll be interesting to see. Certainly, I mean, it feels like it's the no-brainer again as the default beginner HF radio. I think the DX10 has kind of taken that position recently, right? The 7300's been a little long in the tooth. It's certainly due for a refresh, and it sounds like they did a great job with it. Yeah, that is an awesome entry radio. And I guess it's really going to come down to the price, right? That's the other big thing that ICOM did so well with that radio when they first came out. They put the right price on it. It's got a great interface, great screen, that waterfall. Everyone was kind of gaga over that waterfall when that thing first came out, and it just flew off the shelf. HDMI port, it's, man, it feels like we're starting to see some momentum here with these various manufacturers, right? I mean, everybody jumped on the USB-C bandwagon. Finally, eventually they got there, but they're there. And hopefully this is just the beginning of what we're going to see across the board, right? I mean, when one manufacturer puts that in their radio, it's going to be doggone hard for another manufacturer to come out and not have that in the radio. That's, it's great. ICOM is kind of pushing all the manufacturers forward here. All right, let me see. Let me catch up here. Yeah, it's got the built-in LAN for sure. Yeah, see, I've got a Kenwood 890 on my desk here as I just love this radio. It's got so many awesome features. It's got multiple antenna reports. It's got receive only antenna ports. And whenever I was looking, and that's before I bought my Flex, but whenever I was looking for what I wanted to put in on the bench here, I knew I wanted to be able to have some receive only antennas. I've got a couple of reverse beverages out in one of my pastures, and that was a must have for me. And when you start looking at the radios that have that, it starts to, that's a big filter, right? That filters out a lot of other radios. When you say, I want to have that receive only antenna port, boom, you just eliminate a lot of radios from the discussion. So the fact that they've added that, I think is a really big deal. Let me see here. 7300 never let me down. Yeah, that's no voice gear for sure. And you can't even compare those radios from a price perspective, right? Now, the Flex can do something, it can do several things that the 7300 would never do, and the Mark II can't do, but some of those things don't matter for a lot of people, right? I wanted a way to be able to run multiple slices when I'm doing RTTY contests, and I can do that with that radio. But that's a fairly niche thing. Not everybody has that need. Let's see, the 101D, Paul. Oh, but you bought the 7300. That's interesting. Paul, we're going to have to chat about that sometime. I'm curious. Now I know, maybe this is why. I know Paul has announced multiple times, so I hope I hope this hasn't changed, Paul. But I know Paul has said multiple times when he hits a certain threshold, and I can't remember what that threshold is, subscriber threshold, I believe. He's going to he's going to give away that 101D. So maybe that's why he purchased 7300. I'm not sure. But Paul, we'll have to chat about that. Let's see, Mike, N8YO, first you're hearing of the 5200. I've not found any images yet. I guess what we could do, let me see if I can set this up on the fly. Let's hope I don't screw something up here. Let's see. All right, you guys will have to bear with me a little bit as I monkey through this. So I'm going to see if I can go out to Josh's stream while I've got everything else running here and grab a screenshot of the 5200 from his stream. All right, let's see. Yeah, and hopefully this just doesn't screw something up for me here. You know what? I've got a better idea. Because I know I'm gonna monkey something up here. Let me grab it real quick on my phone, and then I'll send it to my PC, and I'll throw it up there so everyone can see it. All right, let's see. See if I can find it here real quick. I'll try to grab a couple of shots from it here. Let's see. Try to do this and keep you guys all moving at the same time. Hillbilly, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. 7-3, buddy. Ziggy, the 75 ohm ham has shown up. Hey, buddy. All right. I apologize here for this very clunky deal that I'm doing here, but I'm grabbing a screen capture off of Josh's live stream. So, and Josh is on there, so he gets full credit. All right. And this is from the live stream he did earlier with Ray Novak. It was just awesome that they did that. All right. Have you guys ever just tried to do a lot of different things on your computer at the same time, and you're just sure you're going to screw something up? That's kind of the way I feel right now. All right, so I just did a transfer to, transfer to my machine. Let me now just bring that in real quick. And real quick is a relative term. Let's see, where does it put that sucker? I think it may be, put it here. Let me see. Let me take a look here. I'm not even sure whenever I do a Bluetooth transfer where the heck that thing goes. Let's see. Let me see if I can get a better view. All right. Okay. I got it now. So let's see here. All right, I think I got it. I got it. All right, now let me bring that over here so you guys can see it. Let me get my mug out of the way. All right, N8YO, if I haven't put you to sleep or lost you, there it is. Let me get my chat back up. All right, so there it is. So we can see there's lots of blue, there's some red, some various colors in there. You know, this thing just, high contrast, looks really easy to see. That's live streaming, yeah. All right, let's see. Yeah, it's snazzy looking. Now, we did get confirmation that it is going to be full duplex, so that's exciting. Look how interested Josh is right there. He's like, that's purty. That's a great look right there. All right, let's see. Am I able? I'd like to. Let's see. Can I? I want to zoom in on that sucker here. Let me see if I can do this again without breaking everything. Okay. Sorry, Josh. We're gonna move you around just a little bit there. Let's get this thing and see if we can't zoom in on some of those icons. Let's check this bad boy out. All right, I don't think we lose too much there. So here's what's got us all in a fever right here. So we've got this KISS 96 right here, which could mean they're giving us access to the TNC, right? So that could be exciting. So we've got main, we got DV, so we know it's D-Star. It's got a little satellite up here, so it's getting some sort of GPS coordinates. It's got Wi-Fi. I don't know what this little guy is. Maybe you guys know what this is. I'm not sure what that icon is. Let's see here. Let me bring the chat back up. I lost you guys again. But we got this little blue Wi-Fi-ish looking icon. Let's see. Yeah, such a troll move. I know, isn't that sneaky the way they snuck that in there? Vox, I'm not sure what that circle is right there either. We got the time, we got a Bluetooth icon, USB COM. I don't know what that, I think that next one's an SD card. Then we've got a Wi-Fi after that. And then we go FM and then subband. And anything else interesting on here? Looks like that's telling us we're high power. I don't know if I see anything else on there that's given me any clues. How about anything dual band transceiver ID 5200? I'm just looking at all the silk screening here to see if there's anything else that might give us a clue. We're in full on speculation investigation mode here. Let's see here. Well, that 7300 Mark II, that thing looks like a beauty. So that one, Ziggy, could be your forever radio. Let's see what else we've got here. 144640 is the 9600 baud APRS frequency. Yeah, so, we've got Bluetooth, and if we have access to the TNC, this could get fun. Let's see here. I have an empty spot in my truck. I know, this is making me rethink my whole truck deployment. I mean, this thing could be 2 years out. Who knows? I mean, it looks pretty good though. And whenever Ray was walking around it, it certainly looked pretty doggone good. So we'll just leave that guy in the background. How's that? We should get Josh back in there, though. I want to make sure he's getting full credit. This did come from his stream, so let's get everything back where it belongs there. Yeah, we can kind of see it. Maybe I need to, I should have maybe kept it bigger. Or here, how about if we, see, I get to play with all this kind of fun stuff here. Let me, let's, you guys are giving me a chance to play with some of this streaming stuff. How about if I, where'd it go? Where'd it go? I'm trying to find it here. It's number 12. Let me bring this back over. Then let's try to throw that up picture in picture style. And for some reason, I'm not getting the option to do that. Let's see. All right, we're going to try it a different way. All right, come on. There we go. We'll try this. And that looks fine. That looks fine. There, we've got it up there. Now I can just move it someplace. Maybe I can move it someplace. Let's see. It's driving me nuts here. I'm not sure where that's at. So let's just kill that. We'll kill that. Won't put you guys through it. Okay. Let's see what we've got here. Let me get the chat back up here. Let me do a quick scan and see if I missed any questions. Holy moly, everyone's chatting away. Okay, let's see here. All right, let's see. See what I missed. Any questions out there? The other thing I thought was pretty interesting that they talked about was they had an RF generator that they were piping into the radios for the show so that the waterfalls were full. So they had a CW contest. They had RF display. So, the waterfall display looked like a CW contest, but it was just generated RF. I thought that was pretty interesting. Let's see here. Yeah, that'd be great if that got released by the end of the year. They are saying the 7300 will be released by the end of the year, the Mark II, so that's cool. Let's see. I don't think I missed anything there. Okay. I see the great satellite antenna debate is going on. This is one that Eric and I disagree on a little bit. We both agree that the performance of the Arrow is better, but I think the convenience of the Elk outweighs the performance gains of the Arrow. So if I'm just doing FM birds, I'll go for the Elk, especially if I'm traveling. But even here around the house, I tend to use the Elk just because there's fewer elements to deal with and all the rest of it. Oh, and then Mike has to throw the egg beaters in there. You just want to get everybody spun up, I think, Mike. All right, let's see. Joe Brett's a rubber duck fan. All right, we still have some folks out there, so you guys aren't ready to call our quits yet. Any other questions or topics you guys want to toss out there? I think I started to talk a little bit about some of the videos I'm working on. So I've got a Spec 5 relay that I'm putting up on the barn. So I've got some of that already shot. I need to shoot a little bit more of that. And in that video, just to give you guys a preview, I'm going to be talking about remote management of that device. So, that's a topic I haven't seen a lot of discussion on. And when it does come up, folks seem to have some questions on it. So I'll be talking about that in terms of, right, if you've got a node, like a solar node that you might have up in the air and that you don't have easy access to, how do you manage that thing? Well, of course you can manage it if you're within Bluetooth range, but what if you're not? And so I'll be talking about that a little bit in conjunction with that video. I'll be getting back, I'm hoping, I'll be getting back to the satellite ground station before too long. Like I said, I'm waiting for the Heliax to come in. So I've got that going on. I've got a series of videos that I'm working on for this little guy right here. So we've got some of that activity going on. I do have some projects too. I've got that satellite controller that I want to build. And Kyle's already done a great job with a couple of live streams on how to build that. So I don't think I'm going to do a build video. What I may do though, when I do the video for that, is talk a little bit about some of the challenges that Kyle ran into and Don recognized, and he's made some updates to the manual for that because of those challenges that Kyle ran into. So that's pretty cool, right? Don saw that was a problem, and he had some other hams contact him with a similar problem. And, he went out, fixed his documentation to make that more clear so folks won't run into that, hopefully. So I'll probably point that out. And then, I just want to do some operation with that. I think that looks pretty fun, pretty cool. What else do I have here? I feel like I'm missing something I shouldn't be missing, but I can't seem to think of what it is. So let's see. Yeah, spun that egg beater up. Yeah, so Ziggy, I'm sure you've heard this. I mean, you're an antenna nerd. That's a good thing, by the way. I love that about you. Everybody always says, friends don't let friends use egg beaters, but in certain situations, I think they're just fine, but it certainly gets people talking. So let's see. Oh yeah, the old hitting the repeater from the couch there, JB. That's always nice. Wish the CSN SAT would support the FTM 150. Yeah, that is that's a pretty narrow set of devices that works with, right? That works with a 9700, and it works with Yaesu rotators. So, hey, Don, thanks for joining, buddy. Nice to see you out there. I think there is some momentum in trying to expand what that thing will work with. That portable SAT controller, or that portable SAT rotator that Kyle built, that I have one of those as well. I'll be building that. Don is going to be supporting that SAT controller as well. So I thought that was interesting. Let's see. Maybe overkill. Yeah, probably. But most people will start with FM and then they'll move on to linear. So if that helps people make that move more quickly, then I think it's a good thing. Am I going to track the balloon tomorrow night? Yeah, I do have plans to do that. I think that that'll be cool to see how that balloon performs. And that's in our area, so I'm suspecting that I ought to be able to hear that pretty well here. Just too much stuff to bring portable. Yeah, it is a little bit clunky. Kyle brought his along out to Colorado, and now he doesn't have the SAT box. Of course, he was just using it connected to the PC. But the good news is that SAT box is pretty doggone small, so it's not that much more to bring along. But I would agree, it's probably overkill. But again, anything that gets people over some of those initial fears of working satellites, I think it's a good thing. And I really think that's what it is more than anything, right? It's just, it's not hard. It's just takes some practice, right? And you just got to get over, it's a different type of mite frike, right? It's just something you have to get over. So I'm all for anything that makes it easier for folks and gets them on the birds. Yeah, Eric, that's the sweet setup, right? The SAT with the 9700 portable for linears. That is worth it for sure. Guess I is late. Yes, you're late, but you didn't miss anything. We're just hanging out here tonight. Just chatting and hanging out. So welcome. You know what? That 9700 is an interesting bird on the used market. That thing still demands a pretty high price. It's and the new price on it keeps going up, which is also interesting. So I was able to pick up a used one for a smoking deal here locally. I bought it from, I found a guy on QRZ that was selling it. He was here in the Metroplex, and we met about halfway. I went over and bought it out of the trunk of his car in a Starbucks parking lot. So there you go. All right, let's see here. Yeah, they are expensive, but man, it's a great radio. It really is a great radio. It does the things. Yeah, ham radio drug deal. That's really what it felt like. You know, you got all these people that are looking at you. What are you doing, right? Because I'm unpacking the thing. I want to make sure it looks good. The guy he took great care of it though. It looked brand new, but yeah, I'm essentially pulling this thing out on the out of the back of his vehicle, checking it all out, and then sending him cash via Zelle. Let's see. All right. Any other topics you guys are interested in? Boy, I feel like I'm really missing something that I should be talking about, but I am not. Hey, I'll tell you something I think I am going to do though is get another 2730B rounded up here for a giveaway. So let me see here. Let me throw this up there. So for you guys who maybe have not signed up for my community list, if you go out there to bitsy/dr, you're able to sign up for the community list, and that's how I communicate with folks, and that's the list that I'll be pulling from to do my giveaways. So if you guys want to be eligible for channel giveaways, those types of things, just run out there, hit that URL. You'll find there's a link to join the community list. I think I've got another one here. Let's see here. Yeah, we can do this one here. Not that one. We did that one. Let's get rid of that guy. Let's do this one. So that'll take you right to the community list. If you guys want to get signed up, if you sign up for the list, here's what you can expect. About once a quarter, sometimes a little bit more, sometimes a little bit less. I send out a newsletter. In that newsletter, I'll talk about what's going on, what's happened, what's coming down the pipe. And I also put a link to all my discount codes, affiliate links, all those types of things that will save you guys a few bucks here and there on the various things that help support the channel. And again, this is the list that I pull from for any giveaways here on the channel. So you guys are encouraged to sign up for that if that is something you're interested in. All right, let's see what we've got here. I gotta find my chat again. I keep losing you guys. The Smoking Ape. Hey, Ape. Thanks for joining, man. We're just kind of hanging out here tonight. Nothing specific going on. If you guys have a topic or something you'd like to chat about, if you have a question, we're kind of treating this as an Ask Me Anything. And we got a few questions, not too many. But either way, it's fine. Let's see. Anybody else out here that I've missed? I don't think so. I'm kind of liking this late night, Friday night slot. This could be fun, right? This is like for those of us who were up late anyhow. You ever set up a satellite ground station? Yeah, Don, we chatted about that just a little bit earlier tonight. I've got some Heliax that I'm waiting on. That once I get that Heliax in, I'll be putting out the next videos in that series. So I've been waiting for that Heliax to come in, and quite honestly, at this point, I've been waiting for things to cool down just a little bit. So next week looks like it's a good week, though. So I might get a chance to get out and do some work with the tower and the rotator. So that's still a thing. It's just been kind of delayed a little bit. Yeah, I kind of like these late night time slots. Nobody else is really on. Most folks kind of finish up a little bit earlier. Oh, the Tiny GS. You've mentioned that before. I've never played with that, but man, it looks pretty cool. Um, I'm gonna have to tinker around with that. Yeah, I know you've told me about that before, Dawn. I mean, it's just another one of those things. I got to try to find a way to work into the schedule here. Have you heard of Sat Jammers? Ziggy, I'm not sure exactly what you're talking about, but I can tell you that, uh, especially recently here in the US, anyhow, there have been just a lot more jackwagons trying to cause problems on satellites. Just people getting on the birds, trying to capture the repeater, whistling, making noise. Yeah, hose up the birds. Yeah, so I've absolutely witnessed that more so than ever recently. Actually, on a couple of passes that I had out in Colorado, it was really bad. I was videoing one of them, so I've got some footage of that I'm going to put out into a short where a guy just tries to whistle over everyone. So I don't know what that's all about, but hey, Vern, nice to see you, buddy. Thanks for joining. Vern, you'll get a kick out of this. So I wasn't intending to stream tonight. And there's a few other folks I think that have joined since I've last said this. I wasn't intending on streaming it all, but I was watching Josh's stream with Ray at the Tokyo Ham Fair, and he said like 2 or 3 times that I was streaming right after him. So I was trying to capture lightning in a bottle and thought, maybe it'd be great if 25% of his 600 people came over to the stream. I think they went to bed instead. So, but we're just chewing the rag here. Let's see what else I've got here. Yeah, so I'm curious, Ziggy, why you brought that up. I wonder if you've been listening in or if you've been working some birds. I've definitely seen that more so in the last couple of months than I've ever seen it. Let's see, we have more than 3 jammers in St. Augustine, Florida. It's a pandemic here. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I was working a pass that was, I think it was more, so I was in Colorado and I think the pass was kind of a west, kind of a southwest to north pass. So this would have been, some West Coast jokers. So you got them in Florida. There's some West Coast jokers out there too. All right, let's see. Oh, wow. Eric, who's that's getting followed? I hadn't heard that. Hey, I did get a chance to see Tom and Sloan, Eric, out at Huntsville. So they were out doing their thing. It was good to see those guys. They were with the ARRL booth doing their SAT demonstrations in the parking lot like they have been the last couple of years. Yeah, I don't get it either, Vern. It's sad. Just nothing else, nothing better to do, I guess. Let's see. He does a lot of roving. Yeah, and these guys aren't completely ignorant. Um, I mean, they're ignorant because they're doing what they're doing, but they know what they're doing is probably a better way of saying that. Uh, it does seem like maybe they are targeting people that, oh, you know what? I'll, I hadn't thought about this before, but on the two passes where I had an issue in Colorado, I had posted both of those on hams.at. So I think whoever it is, or the folks who are doing that, are paying attention and they're actually looking for people that are roving and, trying to help other people get grid squares, right? I think they're being selective in what they do, which even makes it, just makes them even more jackwagonish there. How do you like that, Bill? All right. Let's see. Man, I keep babbling on here and more people keep joining, so I'll keep chatting here for a while if you guys want to stick around. Let's see what else we've got going on. All right. So, for any of you guys who maybe are under a rock tonight, you've been busy with other things, right? So ICOM has announced a 7300 Mark II. So they take the 7300, add a number of great improvements to it, and they're claiming this thing's going to be ready before the end of the year. So that was big news coming out of Ham Fair. They also were showing off, and this one was under glass, so this one can't be nearly as close, a new 5200, which looks very similar to the 5100, excuse me, in form factor, but has the blacked out screen, color screen, lots of great color. And I mean, that thing just looks fantastic. They did a great job with the layout on that. I mean, it looks pretty similar, but when you add color to that black background, it pops. It just really looks great. That looks like a great radio to put in your car or in your truck. That nice big screen, high contrast, looks really good. Let's see, what else did they announce? They had and I don't know if this was an announcement per se or if they were just showing some of this off. They had a 24 gig horn for the 905. I think that was new. No new 9700. Nope. They had some improvements or, some extra stuff for the 905, the Mark II, and then the 5200. Am I missing anything? I don't know that I'm missing anything. Let's see here. Yeah, the 7300 did just become worth less. I mean, they added some pretty sweet stuff on that Mark II, right? So they claim they've got better receive. They claim they've got, we saw it. They didn't claim. They've got receive only antenna ports. It's got a CW, whatchamacallit. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? I hope so. It can decode. There we go. It's a CW decoder. 7300 is on sale for $9.99. Wow. There may have been some other goodies there that I missed, but for me, the better receive, the dedicated receive SMA connectors. I mean, those are all great additions to that platform. We'll have to see what it comes in at, though, Vern. If I mean, I've got to believe it's at least going to be, what was the 7300, 1600, 1500 whenever it first came out. I mean, I think it dropped fairly quick if I remember, but yeah, I don't think it's gonna be tough to get $1,000 for one of those used today. Yeah, we're gonna see. I think we're gonna see QRZ prices dropping this weekend. Uh-oh. Ziggy got another 7,300 last night, and beer was involved. Nice. Nice. Yeah, I'm trying to think if I've got anything else that I haven't talked about that's kind of cooking around here. I can't really think. I mean, talked about this. We've had some new people join, so I'll flash this up there. So this is the Lab 599 TX500 MP. This is the one that comes, and I think all the SKUs, I think they're going to have a SKU that doesn't, but right now all the SKUs include, you can see the second half here. That's the battery, the BP500. That battery pack works with both the original TX500 Discovery and this radio. It's this is a really nice package, the way they put this together. This thing has a tuner in it where the original did not. And this thing has this, I mean, the tuner is so fast in this. One of the things I want to do is do try to tune some crazy stuff and see how it does. We'll do, maybe we'll pit it against the G90. Give me a reason to get the G90 out. But we'll pit it against the G90 and see how it does tuning compared to everyone's favorite tuner. Let's see what else we've got out here. Check in chat real quick here, see if I missed any questions, any good comments. You know, I didn't even set up my comment grabber before jumping on the stream here. I wonder if I can get that going. All right, let's see here. I'm going to see if I can set this up super quick so you guys... I've never used this before, so... Let's see how this works. All right, let's see. I'm not even sure how this sucker works, so I won't spend too much time on it. I'll see if we can get it to go. All right, I think I've got it set up. Well, thanks, Ziggy. I just wanted to see if I could get it to work more than anything. Let's see. What are your latest Meshtastic projects? So Vern, I'm going to be putting up a Spec 5 relay on the barn. I've started that project already, but instead of just having a video that shows me climbing a ladder, hopefully staying on the ladder, and screwing this thing to the barn. The main focus of the video is going to be how you do remote management of a Meshtastic device. So let's say you don't have direct access to it, you're further than Bluetooth away from it. How do you manage that device? So that'll be kind of the thrust of that video. Let's see here. I've developed a REST API to make it work from anywhere. Is that with Meshtastic, Vern? I want to make sure I didn't miss another comment there. Certainly interested in what you're doing there. That sounds interesting for sure. Very cool. Yeah, I'll look forward to hearing some more about that. That sounds pretty cool. I've started tinkering around with the firmware a little bit. What I'd like to be able to do is when we go to the various events and whatnot, today we're creating QR codes. People are scanning QR codes, and that's how we're spreading the word. I thought it was pretty slick at Dayton when the Meshtastic team generated a Dayton Hamvention specific firmware. And so I'd like to be able to do that as well. So I've started tinkering with that, where I can set a configuration, change the graphic, and generate a firmware version that we can push out, and folks can just flash to their device and it'll be ready to go. We'll see if I get that far. If nothing else, I'm learning a lot more about the software, so that's cool. Oh yeah, that's cool. That's definitely cool. Yeah, so if being able to leverage the API so you can use it for messaging, whether from monitored activities on your servers or your PCs, that's a great idea. That's a really cool. Yeah, looks like a lot of people are starting to do some cool stuff with that. That's great. That's the best part of that being open source, people actually grabbing it and running with it. Oh, nice. Yeah, that looks like you got a great project going on there, Vern. Can't wait to learn more about that. Let's see. Don says, what I want to see is a Meshtastic device that monitors its own solar and battery use. So you can see some of that already. You can see some of that telemetry for the battery already. Now, I'm trying to remember. I think it shows you the inputs and the outputs to the battery. So, Don, I'm wondering if you're aware of that, if you've looked at that. Maybe you've got something more sophisticated in mind, but you can definitely see some of that stuff today in the software already. I don't know I'm not sure how closely everyone watches Meshtastic, but I can tell you I've been really, really impressed with how quickly the Meshtastic team has been adding additional features, at least to the Android app. I don't have any of the iOS stuff, so I can't speak to that. And I know they have different teams that work on those platforms. But man, they have made some fantastic improvements over a pretty short period of time. So if you guys are not keeping up with that Meshtastic app, make sure you guys get out there and download the latest version, and stay on top of your firmware too. They just keep improving that stuff. It just keeps getting better and better. It's really great. Not the solar data. Let's see. I've tried to read it, but I couldn't find it. Yeah, you've got me wondering now. Well, and I've got to check that solar node, that relay that I've got from Spec 5 and see what I've got access to. I took the Atlavox S4 to Huntsville again this year. That's the one I took last year and ran the BBS off of it. I did that again this year, and that one, I think, I'm trying to remember which. I believe that's an NRF chip in that. I think it is. It might not be that new though. I'll have to go back and look. But that device is it's too bad that device isn't available anymore. Now the new solar node from Seed Studio, I think, is a great replacement for that. So if you guys have seen that S4 video and you've said, great, but I can't buy that anymore, take a look at the solar node from Seed Studio. It's similar form factor, similar shape and size. I think it's going to be a really good replacement for that. But the reason I like that S4 so much is, first of all, the form factor. It's really easy to pack up. I put it in a little Maxpedition pack, and I can put everything I need for that and the bulletin board in one little pack, and it travels real well. As a side note, it also fits really well in a rain gutter. It just you can kind of put it in at the right angle on a rain gutter, and it's not going to move anywhere. It's just by happenstance I found that out. So I did that a couple of years ago, and I did the same thing this year where I took it and just jammed it in the rain gutter, and it didn't move for the whole 4 days I was there, so it worked out really well. All right, let's see. It's a rack device. Yeah, it is a rack device. That's the same one. That S4 is a rack device. Doesn't even report the battery usage. Well, that's really interesting. I'm going to have to take a closer look at that. Yeah, Broken Circuit Ranch. Vern turned me on to the cool stuff that I forget that guy's call sign, but he's got some good stuff going on, and yeah, I think he's got a good option there as well. Let me see. Oh, you have to use the solar input on the carrier board and charge the battery over the bat plug. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to take a look at that on those two solar nodes I've got and see if there's if anything looks different, Dawn. And if it does, I'll shoot you a note, let you know. Yeah, there you go, Bill. Hit that like button. Always appreciate that. Thanks, buddy. Kilo Echo 1, November Tango. Thanks, Fern. Yeah, if you guys haven't checked out the Broken Circuit Ranch, just Google that, and let me see. I don't know if, let me just grab that real quick. I can drop it in. I need a Frank. All right, let's see here. Let me see if I can find that real quick. I thought it was just Broken Circle Ranch. Let's see here. See if I can find that real quick. Now, if I'm not mistaken, it looked like that website was fairly, it may have been still under development, maybe. Ah, there we go. Is this it? Yeah, this is it. Always helps if you spell it right. There you go. You guys can check that out. See what he's got out there. He's got, looks like he's got some bandpass filters for some. He's got a Meshtastic bandpass filter, 900 megahertz bandpass filter. Got some LoRa radio stuff. An RGB LED controller. So, some fun stuff. It's one of the great things about this hobby. Somebody has an idea, they want to charge out there, build something, make something. They can get it done. The community will support it. Let's see. Okay, so not using the battery input. Okay, you guys are still chatting about monitoring Meshtastic. That's good. Let's see what else I've got here. Any other questions? How are we doing time-wise? We're almost 11 o'clock. We still have some people hanging. Let's see who's out there. Let's see. All right, where'd I go here? All right. We still have 30 people watching, so we can hang out for just a few here. Anybody else have any other topics we want to throw out there? $75 ohm hardline. That's all Ziggy all the time, baby. Yeah, let's see what else we've got. So this weekend looks like we might get a little bit of relief from the heat. So I'm probably going to have to mow the grass, though. I don't know about you guys. We got a couple of days worth of rain, and all of a sudden, all the browns turned to green again. But I want to try to get some of the videos going on this guy. One of the other things I think that's pretty interesting about this that I want to demonstrate and show, this has a really wide input from a power perspective. I don't remember exactly what it is, but I know that I can bring my 100-watt solar panel directly into it. Let me find that real quick. Let's see what that looks like. Maybe I've got... Yeah, let me see if I've got it right here in the quick start guide. I was surprised to see that. I thought that was pretty cool. I love the idea of being able to, right, just reduce one more piece of equipment. Let me see if I can find it here in the quick start guide. This thing doesn't come with a manual per se. Let's see. Still has just great power consumption on receive, 100 milliamp. That's just fantastic. Yeah, I'm not sure where I saw that at. 15 volt. So yeah, it can take 15 volts at 3 amps. So depending on your panel, you may be able to take that directly in. I still will probably just use that little Buddy Pole Mini 2. That thing is just so doggone convenient and easy. But certainly something to try. Does anybody else out there have they picked up one of these MPs? I'm curious. Bill, I know you've got a bunch of gear for the original TX500. I don't know if you've been tempted on the MP or not. It's the same with the TX500 when the battery's connected. Yeah, yeah. Yep, 45 watt max. So, you know, if you've got a small solar panel, you're probably good to go. Yeah, that's a good strategy there. Wait for a bunch of people to do some reviews on it. Not a bad strategy. I just I'm such a fan of the original TX500. I've thought about picking up the battery for that thing, and when I saw that this one ships with the battery, I was like, come on. It's got a built-in tuner, ships with the battery. These things really are rugged. I thought it was pretty cool, so I pulled the trigger on it. No QRP for Ape, huh? Give me that power. Hey, Vern, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it, buddy. Hope you're doing well out there. We did miss you in Huntsville for sure. So maybe we'll get a chance to catch up at Belton. I'll have to hit you up and see if you're heading over to Belton here in a month or so. I saw, speaking of Meshtastic and Belton, I did see, I'm sure many of you may have also received an email from Spec 5. I'm going to check their website real quick. And it talks about them doing another MeshCon. So I had a really good time at MeshCon last year. It was great to meet, you know, a bunch of new folks that are into mesh, get some new and fresh perspectives. Let's see. I'm not seeing anything on their website here. Let's see. I know I didn't hallucinate that. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't look like they've got anything on the website just yet. Let me see if I can find that email, though. All right, good deal. Thanks for stopping by, Vern. All right. Let me see if I can find that just real quick here. I'm curious what they're going to try to do this year to kind of raise the level. I thought what they did last year was a great first attempt, but every year you got to be pushing the boundary. You got to be doing something better, different, bigger. All right, here we go. MeshCon 25. Let's see. So far, and I say so far because when I talked to some of the Spec 5 team at Huntsville, they said this may move around, but the current published date is Friday, October 3rd. But like I said, when I talked to Theo out at Huntsville, he said there's a good chance they might move that around. I thought that might get your attention, Ziggy. Let's see here. I don't really say too much about what they've got planned, basically just to save the date and stay tuned. So be curious to see what they're doing for that. It was like I said, it was a good event. It was great to meet more of the Spec 5 team. I actually met Dave out there. Dave, who is KB5UTY, who's our Seed Studio buddy. I actually met him out there as well. So, and they had a modest turnout. I think it was a good turnout for a first event. I'm sure they're going to try to make that bigger and better than it was last year. So looking forward to that. Uh-oh, looks like Ziggy's getting yanked there getting yanked there as well. Let me check and see. I know I'm keeping you boys up late. How's everyone doing out there? Everybody hanging in? Let me see if I can see how we're doing here. Make sure we still have some folks that are hanging out. All right. There's still a few of you out there. Maybe we'll try to, what time we got here? We'll try to wrap it up here before too much longer. Let's see. Seed is so much more than LoRa, though. Yeah, they definitely are. They've got some really cool stuff. I don't know if you guys are on their mailing list, but is it Thursday nights? I think it's Thursday nights. They do a lot of live streams where they show off various products that they have. A lot of them are product launches. They do a giveaway in almost every live stream. It's been a few weeks since I've been able to sit in on one, so I don't know if that's still what they do, but I know they have been, giving away two or three different things, whatever they're highlighting at the time. And some of those things may be a lot of AI focus right now. So they've got a lot of cool AI projects and devices that can do a lot of different things. Some of them can actually run Meshtastic, but that's like the smallest, simplest capability that the device has. It's a full-blown AI device. So they do some really cool stuff there. So if you guys aren't on that list, if you're not getting those reminders about those live streams, I suggest you sign up for that. Hey, Ziggy. Yeah, I think I'm really enjoying this as well. And, I'm kind of surprised there's so many people hanging out. But, I mean, I can get on here and chat and babble with the best of them. So we'll definitely be doing this some more. I'll put a little effort into it though and make sure we have a few topics that can keep us rolling or at least get us started. But yeah, we'll certainly do this again. So you're an alpha tester for some of their other electronics. Yeah, nice, nice. Well, that's the other thing too is so many of the different devices that they have they're really reasonably priced. So these are great experimenter type devices. They're cheap to get into. If you let the smoke out of one, no big deal. And they also have a lot of resources to help you use these devices in various different ways. So they have, you know, almost online training is the way to think about it. Of, okay, here's this cool device we have, like their shalls, right? Here's this cool device we have, and here's a bunch of things you can do with it. Now, here's how you actually do those different things as well. So, a lot of it's a huge resource. It's a great resource for you tinkerers out there. You should be taking advantage of that for sure. Yeah, very much community oriented for sure. A lot of good folks. I've met a handful of folks, chatted with a handful of folks, and uh, they're all just so excited about what they're doing. And when you're around that kind of energy, it's contagious and it gets you excited. And sometimes you just need that little bit of push, that little bit of excitement, that little bit of nudge to get you into something new or to get you over a hump. Uh, yeah, a lot of great things going on there at Seed for sure. All right, so we've got 11:08. Why don't we do a last call and see if you guys have any final questions or topics that we want to hit on? I think we talked enough about the ICOM stuff for now until we get some more stuff. Well, Wi-Fi's holding strong. Paul, when do you actually land? I'm curious. I'm wondering what time it is that you land as well. So, are you gonna have to just hightail it over? Are you gonna get a chance? Maybe you're getting some shut eye here and there on the flight. I'm curious to hear what your plan is. For obvious reasons, right? I'm curious how this stuff goes because this is something I've got in my sights for the future. Let's see, how many SAT grids am I up to now? Gosh, you know what, Mike? I'm like the worst person to ask this. I don't think you've asked me a couple of times, and I never know. Let me see if I can quickly take a peek here. See, have you heard if the FCC will open up more frequencies on 60 meters? Canada has more than we do. I have not. But I'm not somebody that follows that kind of thing super close. I'm sure there are better folks um, to ask that of. It's you know, if I don't normally see that type of chatter in the different resources that I get my radio related news, right? Um, I guess I'm a pretty basic consumer of, general news information. There's a few different radio related outlets that I watch pretty regularly. I watch everything from AMSAT. I watch everything from Eris pretty closely, but I don't I don't pay too much attention to, some of those other frequency situations. That's a good question, though. You guys probably are already aware that I'm trying to remember the name of the company and it escapes me. But there is a satellite company who has petitioned for some of our spectrum space for telemetry for their commercial satellites. And, there's been a number of organizations who have provided comment on that. I think the comment period may be over. But you got 2 hours and 15 minutes to go, Paul. Gotcha. But that's one I'm certainly interested in. I wish I could remember the name of the company. I think the significant news related to this particular company is, I believe in Europe, they were essentially told to cease and desist using some frequencies that were interfering with allocated band space, amateur allocated band space in Europe. So that's it's not the way you want to kind of step out and introduce yourself to the ham radio community, for sure. All right, so Paul is going to be doing a live stream on Saturday, tomorrow, 8 p.m. Central. Very good. Yeah, I saw that, Eric. That's pretty awesome. Congrats on that. Yeah, it's awesome that you've been able to be so active. Yeah, that does help for sure. All right, we've got a couple more minutes here. We'll shut it down at 11:15. We'll let all you guys go get your beauty rest. Let's see. Well, hey, I think there's still like 28 people, 28, 29 people watching the stream. That just blows my mind. So looks like we've got a lot of folks that don't mind the late shift. So I think this might be, I think I'm just going to grab this spot. Nobody else takes a Friday night late shift. So mark it down. We're going to grab the Friday night late shift and we'll hang out with anybody that wants to hang out. I'll send out some stuff on the socials, and you guys have inspired me. So thanks so much for joining the stream and hanging out with me. And like I said, we'll put together some topics so we have a little bit of structure. But I really like this rag chew, and I'll also be a little bit better prepared so that I'm able to bring some folks on if we've got other folks that would like to join the stream and join me on camera and chat with the group here. So I think that sounds like a lot of fun. Hey, I hope you guys have a great weekend. I hope you guys are able to get out, do something with your radios this weekend, right? Let's get some RF out there in the atmosphere, whether it's a POTA, whether you're working satellites, whether you're on your local nets, just get out there and get some RF sling some RF out there. And that's the best thing about this hobby is whenever we're talking over the airwaves and things just seem to happen, right? But unless you're on the airwaves, nothing happens. So make sure you get out there and get on your radios. Again, thank you for joining the stream tonight. I appreciate all you folks. It was a lot of fun. Good time for me. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. We'll see you next time, gang. 7-3.